Welcome to the Splendid Table on NPR. This is our Thanksgiving edition.
I think you've just committed some sort of federal crime by saying we're NPR.
What? Oh, shoot. What if they come in and arrest me while we're doing this?
I mean, it's not a good start to the holidays, but I do like talking in these radio voices.
It's
do kind of fun.
Can we talk about how good the turkey smells?
Oh, so good.
So good.
Except
so
it's actually my smoked beef turkey that I made. So.
Oh my gosh. And I'm allergic to turkey. So I might be having a tofurkey.
Oh.
Yes. I think that is also a trademarked term. I'm now going to be arrested twice.
If you're going to sin big. If you're going to make a crime, if you're going to just do it big. Right?
Sin big. Okay. So we have just 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
And it is Thanksgiving week. And what I want to talk about is, what do individuals who are in early sobriety do when they are faced with going to their first big Thanksgiving gathering? Friends, family, doesn't matter. But these individuals may not know that this person is newly sober. What did they do? What did they do?
That's a great question. We get it all the time too. The most important thing when it is, especially when these things are coming up, that seems like a natural thing to say, but so many times as families, it's not the first thing we think about. The first thing is communication. Communication is the most important thing. Yes. So sometimes we'll have the people who are Aunt Sally and Uncle George who are the ones who always host the dinner, and they're wondering, they're like, John is just coming out of treatment, and should we have alcohol here, and should we not? And I've actually had this conversation with lots of families who've come and they've asked the question, but they've never asked the person who they're worried about. And so on the opposite side, sometimes the person will say, what do I do? And do I tell, or do I ask them, to have alcohol or not? But they've never talked to their family. So the first thing is talking to people beforehand and saying, this is where I'm at right now, and these are the questions we have.
Use the words.
So
words. What would they say?
If I'm Uncle George, I might say, Rachel, I'm so proud of you. You've just gotten out of Hanley Center, and I know that you're working hard in your sobriety. And I'll be honest with you, we don't know how we can best support you. So we want to really support you. And different people tell us different things. Some people say we can't have any alcohol. Some people say we should just be normal. But we just want to know from you, how can we best support you? Because we love you and we want you in our house and we want you to be part of this. And we know that alcohol is not a part of your life anymore. And so how do we best support you? Because if you need if it's right now for this year, if it's better not to have any alcohol there, we'll do that. We'll support you that way. And if you don't care, just having that conversation and just saying, I don't know the answer, but I care about you and I want you there. And so I'm asking you what the answer is.
And you know what I just heard? There were a lot of words, but what I heard was love. I heard acceptance. I heard that you want me there as part of really fellowship and Thanksgiving. So our listeners, I think they know I don't drink. I had a very interesting situation recently, and I'm going to pose this one to you.
Okay.
I was having dinner with a colleague, and the colleague said, have some red wine with me. And I said, oh, no, thank you. I don't drink. I'm having sparkling water with lime, which is what I usually have. And the person was so pushy, said, no. Have some red wine with me. Have some red wine with me. Put his hand up and asked the waitstaff to bring over a wine glass and pour some wine there. And they poured a little, and I said, no. But they poured it anyway. Talk about that.
And again, it's another situation that people really do find themselves in. You know, I'm playing golf with my buddies, and I've never golfed with them without drinking, or what. That scenario is very real. And the first thing, again, is to think about it and talk about it beforehand. So first of all, having sponsors, mentors, therapists, having people who've been there that you can talk to beforehand is incredibly important, because for many, many people that really will happen. So the first thing is if you're prepared, you're far more likely to be able to deal with it. And preparing is simply talking to others who've been there, and even doing this like role play sometimes.
Yes.
The next thing is setting expectations for yourself. It is never your job to explain to someone else why you shouldn't be drinking.
Exactly right. Because sometimes it's all the courage you can muster to say no, thank you.
That's right. And no is a complete sentence.
Yes.
And it is for, we want people to understand, or we want people, and it almost feels like you stop a movie in half when somebody's trying to make you do something, and you simply say no without trying to convince them why you're right.
That's right.
But letting go of that, and again, practicing it beforehand can be so powerful. And the next thing is the last thing is having your supports. And I guess that's part of the first thing too. It's that having those supports is everything.
This one's my favorite.
It is a really, when things are kept inside, when our struggles are in here, when they're in our head, and we hold them alone, they are heavy. Yes. Even little struggles can get really heavy. But when we share them with other human beings, there is a magic. And it's not just, if I share my struggle with you, it doesn't just, make it half as heavy. There's a magic that happens, and the two of us together. I call
that the hot potato. I want to give you, I call it the hot potato. I want to give you the hot potato, and then you take the hot potato. You hold it for
that's right. It is like giving it away. Right. It really is.
It is.
So if you're the loved one, it's real important this holiday season, talk directly and openly and honest, and ask those questions honestly. I had a family, and it was the mom, and the children were all adults, and they were calling along with the husband saying, what do we do? And we brought the mom in, and we said, to ask your mom. And there was such a deep power, and you're exactly right.
Powerful.
It was love.
It's powerful, and love, and acceptance, and delicious, and all that good stuff.
And if you're a person in early recovery, talk about the situation with someone who's been there before you get into it. Practice what you'll do, and manage your own expectations, remembering.
Or somebody who's your support. So I go places, when I go places, sometimes my husband, and listen, I'm a tough girl. I don't need anyone to stick up for me. But my husband will a lot of times jump in front and say, no, she's going to have some seltzer water with cranberry juice and a lime, or whatever it is that I want. He just takes that and uses that as speaking. He speaks my truth.
I love that. Having a wingman.
Yes.
There's a tremendous power there.
Pun intended. You gotta say wingman on Thanksgiving.
Yes, I did that on purpose.
All right, to our listeners, we wish you joy this Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for being with us.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.